Hello and welcome to Flory Models. Here we are with you on the 17th of March 2023. And 50 years ago, I was born on St. Patrick's Day, which means I've had some very memorable, well, I say memorable from the ones I can just about remember, birthdays over the years. Obviously being on St. Patrick's Day as well, so happy St. Patrick's Day. And happy birthday to me. Big thank you to everybody who sent birthday messages. It's been very overwhelming. My phone literally hasn't stopped all morning. And it all started last night from you guys in the forum as well. So massive thank you as well for all the birthday wishes. Obviously, they're on the forum. I've had private messages sent to me. Obviously, through the contact me on the site. So yes, big thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. I'm very humbled by the outpouring of love that I've had, actually. So massive thank you. Big surprise to me today. We've just been up and picked this up. I have to thank Becky from Crafty Cakes. I will put a link down in the thing down below. She's done an amazing cake, as you can see, for me, with a Spitfire on top as well. So a massive thank you to her. It weighs an absolute ton. And it's probably one of the best birthday presents you can ever get because, quite frankly, you can eat it. So what's better than that than eating cake? Diabetes, here we come. But no, massive thank you to her. It was a bit short notice, and I know she pulled out all the stops to get that done for today as well. So big thank you to Becky. Incredibly talented lady. She is a proper artist. I'll put her link to her website down below as well. You can go and check her out. So if you're in the Southwest or Devon area and you need a cake, trust me, go and see Becky. She's very talented, as you can see. So massive thank you to her. Massive thank you to my other half, because that's my present from her as well. And I've got a t-shirt as well underneath here as well, which is Wreaking Havoc since 1973. So there's that, and all the other little presents I've had as well. So big thank you. And I might treat myself as well to a kit as we make our way through. So anyway, been really busy this week. Been pushing on very nicely with the Tempest. So we got a part up with you today, got a part up with you on Monday. Last night's live show, I finished off doing the decaling down in here on the CL215 on our little water bomber. And I might attempt to do a little bit of a water drop with it. I say that now, it'll probably end up on its gear because it'll just look terrible and horrible and naff. So I'll end up putting it onto its gear. But I'm going to give it a whirl and we'll see how we come out with that one. The other big thing, of course, is the wash. Obviously, it went on sale last week. Absolutely blown away by the amount of orders come through. I know I mentioned it on another show, so sorry for repeating. I am truly humbled by the amount of, obviously love for it and all the rest of it, but also the amount that you guys have bought. You know, when it's a new range, it's always a little bit of a, is anyone going to buy it? Let's face it, and all the rest of it. But you guys have really taken it to heart. You've been buying it in your absolute bucket loads, and not just like 1 or 2 bottles. You've been buying 4 sets plus as well, and buying some of the merch as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So we've had, I think it's roughly just over 200 orders in a week of just that stuff alone. So we are up to date. We have got all the orders out as of Wednesday, completely bang up to date. And now it's available, obviously, at High Altitude Hobbies in the US. So links are in the store. I'll show you that in a moment. All right, so you can get it from there. And obviously Serious Models in Greece. If you're in the EU, obviously there's no VAT problems or import problems or anything else like that. You can get it from them. They've literally had it yesterday. So they'll be getting it up onto their website very shortly. So yeah, absolutely, must admit, blown away. The orders going through, we've worked sort of tirelessly making sure they've been going out fully right the way through. But it was just obviously the thing about buying the merch at the same time and everything else like that. Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. I'm getting great feedback on the wash already for the guys that are using it, especially doing dioramas and various stuff like that as well. So, some great feedback on that one. Obviously, we've got various bits up here on the Weathering Wash, which you can see here. All right, so we've got a page dedicated. Just click on the thick weathering wash and you can see, and we've got a couple of videos up with this one using it. So I've used it as a winter camo wash. We've done some mud effects and obviously talk about using it with thickeners, which is basically pigment. If you just put pigment, anybody's pigment into it, it will thicken it up. Obviously all the washes are totally mixable with themselves. So if you've got any of the original Flory Models wash and obviously the thick wash, you can mix those together as well to make any shade or hue you like with it. So again, these are our standard sort of colors. But as I said, we are going to be adding to the range as well. We've got another colour that's going to be coming out in probably the next sort of 3 months time. We've got a new colour coming through. It's been requested a lot since we started doing these. So again, it will just add to the range and you can mix and match right the way through. But anyway, you can grab all of those, all the rest of it. Just pop over to the store. And they are now up here at the top, and we've got our original washes down below. So again, and then obviously we've got our pigments below that along with the merch and all the rest of it. So if you do want to grab any of those, obviously you can go off and grab them right now. Anyway, all started on Monday. The much anticipated CH54, the actual Sky Crane, a beautiful kit. cleverly done, I must admit. When I've done the review of this one, obviously the full review is up now, but you go through the instructions. It's typical ICM. It's not overcomplicated. You've got everything you need just down here, but the way it goes together in this clever box section, one of my sort of worries with this kit was it was going to be a tail boom is going to sit on the back, and that's a lot of weight to be sat in that area. But they've made up of clever box system. So not only is it structurally incredibly strong, but also it's got this area where the actual parts all plate to it. So my second reservation with this kit was all the actual raised panel line detail. How would that work? But because they're on the corners, it's not a problem. So incredibly well thought out by ICM as always. And like I say, it may be lacking in detail, perhaps in the cockpit and some around the engines, but simple upgrades or definitely a little bit of scratch building, a little bit of wiring added, hydraulics, things like that. You can really, really get this kit turned on and into something a little bit extra special. But again, really nice. And also another nice touch with it, because it is a monster, let's face it. It seems like a 66 centimeter rotor span, I think it is. So again, with the actual way that these just slide into the rotor hub itself, so you don't have to worry about where you're going to put a big frisbee, let's face it, of rotors lying around. You could literally just unplug them, stick them down the side, and then when you want to display it, just plug them in. So it's great for transport as well, and a lot of manufacturers can take heed from that, because some of the big kits is it. Downside to me was the cockpit detail. It's a little bit simplified, but again, I'm sure the aftermarket people will be down this. And again, set harnesses will never go amiss. Clear parts are beautifully done, very, very nicely done. And again, that gorgeous surface detail with raised rivets absolutely everywhere, as well as recessed details, is just mind-blowing, the amount of retails into this. And again, look at all the detail, tons and tons of it right the way through this kit. Anyway, if you want to go off and see the full review of this one, you can do. It's up on the actual site right now, so just pop along to the actual review section, and of course it is up on social media as well, so if you want to grab that one, you can do. But as you can see, it is really very, very nice all the way through. Some very nice details in there. All right. Then obviously on Tuesday, I had my daily show. Not only was we trying to get out all your orders, that was just one day's worth of orders going out there. I think we had 72 going out that day, or 74. So that was those going out on Tuesday. So consequently, I was a little bit behind going through the actual, normal sort of Tuesday show. So it is a little bit of a short and sweet version of it. But obviously, we talk about where we're getting up to on the Tempest. This is before, obviously, we've got it all together. So we've done the cockpit by that point. We're just about to get the harnesses in and things like that. So again, another little details and questions answered and things like that on the Tuesday show. So if anyone wants to see that, you can do. Up on the actual Wednesday is the PM show, the usual roundup of what's going on the actual PM show. As you might imagine, we were going through all of those as well, and the usual fun and games and all the bits of it, as you know, we were talking. So obviously we were discussing various things, obviously on the Sky Crane, and then obviously we were going through obviously new kit releases, things like that are coming along as well. All right. So there's plenty to see up there. It is free to watch, but it's all the comings and goings and answering questions and things like that over on the actual PM show as well. So if you want to catch up with that, it's on social media, and obviously it's a free to watch video. You can catch that one right now. We had the live show last night, which was obviously a lot of fun as always, and we had a build night, so we were literally going ahead. So I was doing the decaling, as we were saying, on the CL215 down in here, and obviously the guys were all building. It's something we'd like to do every now and again, is have a building evening, because it's quite nice, it's laid back, we can answer all your questions as always. Obviously people in the live chat can join in with the topics and discussions that we're coming up with as well. So some really nice stuff down in there. So John was working on the Armour Hobbies little 70-second Hurricane, beautiful little kit, as he's finding out right now. Matt was on with a classic, I think we said it's 1985, 1987, something like that. Black Hawk by Hasegawa, which is the 70-second scale kit. And then Nathan was working on the little Gladiator, which is the old Matchbox kit, reboxed by Revell. Again, having a lot of fun with that. And Andy's making his way through the Hellcat as well, which is the Edard Profi Pack one with all the nice goodies and bits and pieces in there. So he was weathering up and going through the inside. But anyway, it was an evening and going right the way through. Said I was doing the decaling, so we've done it as a Greek one as well. So we're having a lot of fun potting those down, and trying to get them to bed in over raised detail is an absolute nightmare. But anyway, that's in there. So again, if you want to catch up with our members, that's up on the site right now. You can go back and catch that. Same time, we had up the next review this week. So it's like helicopters all this week. And that is for the AMK 148 scale MI-17 from the HIP family. Again, really nice. It was one of these kits where I wasn't sure what we were going to get. Haven't really seen much of it. A couple of shots online, but it's really nice to get hold of it and have a proper look at it. So nice decal options. You say we've got Czech, we've got the Macedonian ones down in there like that. And again, the detail in the inside AMK, really, really nice. So we said this before with their kits, they are just at that nice level. You've got everything you really need down into here. And as you can see, the engines are a little bit simplified, but it's got tons of detail in the cockpit, lots of detail in the cabin area. So yeah, some very, very nice touches. And you get a full weapons load with this one, which is, I must admit, which I didn't think we were actually going to see, but it does come with all the weapons and the various bits and pieces you can see down in here on this. And generally, it's just got that really very nicely laid out stuff. Lots of photo etch as well to add even more detail, but the surface detail looks very, very nice. We've got the nice textures running through here, and then obviously all those details which we see up on the hip as well. Some very nice stuff all the way through. So again, with this one, I'm thinking a little bit of work in the cockpit just to lighten that up a little bit in the rear cabin, and you've actually got something very, very nice. And obviously being a hip, let's face it, you could do anybody's. Everyone seems to fly the hip helicopter. It's got some nice sag on those rotors as well. And as you can see, some very nice details all the way through. And obviously AMK found him pretty much fantastic for all their weapons. They do the slide molded weapons, so no nasty seam lines to take care of and things like that down in there. But you can see some very, very nice stuff on this particular kit right the way through. So if you are after one of these, obviously you're being a bit spoilt for hips at the moment, because you've got the Mi-8, the Russian military version, as well, done by Zvezda. I think Trumpeter are due out with one shortly as well. So again, a little bit of a plethora of hits coming down the line. But to me, it's a great kit and I really like it. So we will be building that one hopefully a little bit later on in the year, because I quite fancy having a go at that one, as you can see. So anyway, full review along with all the reviews, just come along down in here, click on the reviews page, and then down in here we've got all the reviews down in sections, all right, and we've got manufacturers down in here, and I've even added a couple of miscellaneous ones which I forgot to put up, even though they are 9 and 8 years old. So anyway, you can see those as well as all our tool and accessory reviews. They are all down in here as well. So if you fancy having a look at that, you can do. They're up on the site right now. Up with today is part 3 of the actual Tempest build. Again, it's been coming along very, very nicely. So full resin engine. This is the aftermarket Brasin one. The detail is absolutely legendary with these, but this one is very, very nice. I like the way it goes together. And again, it's one of those good, solid ones when it goes in. It's not like one of these are going to ping off everywhere. It's a good proper join. So again, we have done a little bit of surgery on this one. So we're doing a little bit of build up work there with super glue just to sort of join it in and makes it look like it's welded and proper piping going in. All right. So we've done a bit of that down in there as well to get that engine looking nice. Again, we've added more wiring, more detail as well onto this one. So we're doing a little bit of the plumbing there to finish off the engine. Still got a little bit of wiring to do, but we'll do that actually when it's in situ, because we're not going to fit it to the actual aircraft quite yet. Then we were working on the cockpit. So the cockpit itself, to be honest, they do an aftermarket one. I don't know why, because it doesn't need it. The cockpit is absolutely fantastic. The only thing we've added to this one is the look instrument panel, purely because, yeah, I'm 50 now. I can't see a thing. The blinders are back. The glasses are on all the time. And for me to actually try and do a cockpit in 48 scale, it's easier to get a look set and pop one of those in. So it's a nice resin 3D printed one. So that's in there just like that. And then in with some harnesses. And I think in 48 scale, the normal sort of steel harnesses work really, really well. So we've just popped those into there, giving us a very, very nice cockpit, all done and painted and weathered, all set and ready to be fitted in. So that's literally just set, ready to go in there, just like that. So anyway, that is your part 3 for that one. Part 4 will be up with you on Monday, and that's going to cover installation of the sort of cockpit area into this one, working on the wings, getting the wings all together, and then right the way through. And if I get the camera down just a little bit, we should end up with something looking, if I can get this to come in. There we go, just like that. So again, wing sections in there, tiny little bit of filler, but nothing massively. I've still got to do a tiny little bit of filler on the back here, but the wings go in there very, very nicely. Really nice detailed wheel wells with this one. And then of course we've got that all important engine, which will come along, and it'll be a nice plug-in fit just down here at the front. So we're going to have it down on a little tiny little direct with the actual cowlings and covers all off the engine to expose all that detail. But again, you don't see much of that cockpit, I'll be honest with you. See even less when the glass works on there, but definitely well worth it with that engine. It's a beautiful kit. It's not going to break the bank, and the engine I think is a real worthy upgrade to it, but some very, very nice details down in there. So hopefully next week we'll be coming along, literally getting this thing into primer, and then obviously we can get some paint onto it. Obviously I'm going to do it with invasion stripes on it, because that's the coolest look ever, and then we'll be going through the motions of like weathering and taking care of it just like that. And at the same time, here's our CL 215 5, almost said 4. So there we go. That's it down in here, looking very much the part. As I say, I'm going to try and do a water drop. So I might try and I'm going to have to drill a hole in here and fix a stand to it. Then we're going to come out with doing a water drop. So I'll get that nose door filled in, all the other bits. But the decals, considering I thought they were going to be a nightmare, they've actually gone down. Catch it in the light. There we go. Really very nicely. I thought they were going to be a bit of a pain getting those all in, but they've gone down very, very nice indeed. So anyway, that'll be a cool one. Nice project to work on with that one. Probably the next time we actually do work on that will be with when we do the next live show, which should be, I think, around about the 1st of April. We're planning on doing another Saturday live show with you. So that's when I'll carry on with that one as we make our way through with it. And that is about it for this week. Don't forget, we've got all the various bits and pieces going at the moment. We've got the PM store as they're doing their bit. They've got various sales. We're still continuing with our kinetic sale as well. So that's down in here as well. So it's 20% off all kinetic kits. So just pop down to old kinetic, which I've got to see, there it is, down in here. And as you can see, it's all on sale and it's all 20% off. So as I said, with the incredible rising prices of kinetic, I won't start again, but honestly, it's horrendous. So if you do want to pick up lots of our bargains, we can. Like we said before, we may be discontinuing the range, but it doesn't mean we can't get them in. So if you do want to get them in, we can just get them in. Just tell us what you want and we'll get them in within a couple of days. It's just that we're not going to carry the stock purely because of the pricing. It's just gone absolutely silly on that one. So yes, but anyway, various things in here. The new arrivals, we said before, we got the bits in. The Apaches are due in. I've got an Apache due in with me in the next sort of half an hour to an hour. So that should be in as well. So expect for a review of that week, next week, and the A10. I've got both these two coming in for a review. So they'll be up next week as well. So we can have a proper look at those and see what they are. And again, you've got the CH53 and the other kit standing there in the new arrivals if you want to grab one of them. And then obviously the special offers area, as always, we've got a little few bits of Dragon in here as well. So again, some really nice kits all the way through. And again, we've got the Tamiya Lightning F35 in there as well. So if you fancy a bit of a deal on that one, you can do as well, obviously over at the PM store. And that is about it for this week. So all I've got to do now is bottle around about 300 bottles of thick wash and get your orders out this afternoon. And then that's it. I'm having the rest of the day off. So from that point of view, a nice meal out tonight and a bit of a relaxing weekend, I feel. So again, should be very nice. Don't forget, I'm up with you on Monday, though. Got the next part of the actual Tempest up with you on Monday. And then we've got a full week next week. So we've got me and Matt's show on Tuesday. Got the PM show on Wednesday. Matt's got some goodies up for you on Thursday. And I'll be back with you with the Tempest. Plus the fact we've got the reviews coming up. So we will have, obviously, we've got the Apache review next week, and I've got the conning tower, which is down in here. And to be honest, I've got 12 other kits to do reviews with as well. So expect a lot of reviews over the next couple of weeks as we make our way through. As always, I'm going to leave you with your great work on a Friday. So until Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted.